Now, I don't just have Fiber Festival to share with you, but several projects that I have worked on as well. Some before the festival, some afterwards, and one during. Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Thanks for joining me on episode 51. So today is all about the Fiber Festival. I started off filming a vlog and then I never finished it. So we're just going to throw that in here and make that a big portion of today's episode. But before we get into it, let me give a very warm welcome to all you new viewers and welcome back to returning viewers. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos as they come out. And as always, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. So let's jump into the festival vlog portion. Now that festival was May 17th and 18th. So this footage was filmed either Thursday or Friday before that, so either the 15th or the 16th. And then I will be back here. Okay guys, this is really exciting. We got to set up tomorrow for the festival. And there's my black pegboards and my table and my bags and my earrings. Okay, down here is the bottom one is my table display stuff. There's comb top, there's felting stuff, bats, more comb top, another earring thing. Focus. And then in here, dropped a piece, is my basket of random supplies. I will have dryer balls in that basket. And then my little pretty display baskets and a piece of fiber that fell out on the floor. I will be demo spinning. I'll be demo spinning, so the spinning wheel is definitely going to go, but it won't go in the car till Saturday. I'm crazy excited. Like, it's happening. It's happening. It's coming up so fast, and I cannot wait. And today is Thursday. I got to go pick up the rest my table, and I have another two other tables here in the house I need to grab, and then I've got one at my mom's that I probably need to grab, and a few other things. I've got some wire shelves I need to grab. I've got some on the back porch I need to grab and put in the car, and the rest are at my mom's, so I'll need to grab those, but I can't do that until tomorrow because I don't want to make a million trips. I only want to make 500,000 trips. Okay, that was kind of fun to share that with you and to look at it again myself. We had so much fun at the festival. It was an absolute blast. I did film some of the setup and you will be seeing that. Let me scoot over here. You will be seeing that over here on the side of the screen or covering the entire screen. We'll see what editing Kim decides. So setup was a lot of fun. I set up all this stuff and then took half of it down and then changed it all. We got it figured out. But I had the new pegboards, which were a major change to how I normally set up my booth. And I'm not used to that. So it was a bit of finagling to figure it out. And now I know that I want another set of pegboards and another rolling clothes bar. That worked so incredibly well. So definitely want to do that again next time. I met a lot of great people. Again, I always do. This year, my favorite vendor, Bobby, I will put a little clip of him in here in just a second, where he actually talked to all of you guys. So I will be inserting that at the end of all this festival vlog portion. But right now, There were 2 other spinners in the gym where I was at, and so I met them. There's some really great people. Got some bobbins for my spinning wheel from Bobcat Bobbins, and the man who was spinning on the little bitty wheel, she was so cute. Such a teeny tiny little wheel. He said actually he's got one even smaller that he spins on, and he spins lace weight on these tiny wheels. His man makes his partner, they make 3D printed bobbins, and so they sponsored me with 1 free bobbin, and then I bought one and my mom bought one for me. So I now have 4 jumbo bobbins for my Magicraft Rose, which is absolutely fantastic. The 3 of us got together and did some spinning for a little while, but I had too many customers coming to my booth, so I wasn't able to spend very much time with the other 2 spinners. This is the cutest wheel.
This is a collar. So like, you know how like...
They're so cute.
Oh, okay.
Look at my wheel.
So these
Look at this one.
Where you had like a smaller collar one, when the lady was sitting in.
It was a lot of fun. I had a freaking blast. Sold a ton of stuff. More than exceeded my goals, my sales goals. So I was really, really happy. It's the best festival I've had since I started doing these a couple of years ago. And a friend of mine came up from Atlanta. They do a lot of custom orders, and we chat back and forth all the time. And Gabby actually makes all my stitch markers. So these Harry Potter ones, this is the sorting hat. I've got Hedwig up here. I've got a cauldron. I think I'm using it. I just got several different ones. So they're so much fun. I love her little stitch markers. They're just amazing. I need to find them all because some of them have disappeared. I just need to find them. But anyway, Gabby and her mom came up from Atlanta, and Gabby's dad and one of Gabby's friends. It was so nice to see them. Gabby got to sit at my wheel and do a bit of spinning, so I'm going to insert that in here. She had so much fun, and she really enjoyed spinning on the Magicraft Rose, and her mom was exhausted from working nights and then driving up here instead of sleeping. It was about a 3-hour drive for them with traffic, and I was so blessed that they came all the way up there to see me. They went to Helen too, but it was so neat to have them come by, and I ended up getting a huge custom order afterwards. So that was super cool. It was just the most fun ever. But the first day, and I'll put a little picture in here, the first day, Bobby is Planet Acorn, and he usually dresses in a squirrel costume, and he does squirrel things like nut readings and all sorts of stuff. And I'm going to put that little clip in here right now. This is my favorite person at the festival. Absolute favorite person. Gotta check him out. This is Bobby, the squirrel.
Hey, Fairly Fiber Fun. How we doing? We have, look, I just pulled some nuts. Let's see what we got. Oh, we got sunflower seed, which is super fun. Sunflower seed is about you love something and it loves you back. It's reciprocal because the sun looks at the flower and the flower looks at the sun. Ooh, a wild nut. That means it's wild. I go la 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 la. Oh my God, you know what it is? It's marinara sauce. It's telling you to think about your family because I'm a Sicilian squirrel. Surprise! So this is a family roots. Okay, and the next thing. Oh my God, another wild nut. Wow, this is a wild day. And we got, oh my God, you know, this is kicking a nasty habit. This is a candied cigarette and it's broken into pieces. That means if there's a nasty habit you're trying to kick it because your family says so and you love to be healthy and being healthy loves you. So that's what it's all about. Thank you for coming to my Planet Acorn, Bobby Youngblood. And don't forget, Fiber Festival in the Valley. And Kim is the chef's kiss.
Oh, thank you, Bob.
Right? Oh my God.
Okay, and then the second day of the festival, he dressed up as the Mad Hatter and served tea. And I had a tea party with one of the other vendors and the Mad Hatter, aka Bobby. And it was so much fun. It was so incredibly sweet. And it was like letting the little girl out to play. I am 41 years old, and I just realized that there's a little girl inside of me that needed to play. And it was just the sweetest thing to be able to do that. So thank you, Bobby, for the glowing, loving review of me. I appreciate it. Very, very sweet man. So he's just so much fun. If you're ever in a place and you see Planet Acorn, just stop in and say hi. Tell him you're one of my viewers, a fan of mine or something. He'll probably give you a really big hug because that's the kind of guy he is. So anyway, it was neat to see him again. I only see him at this one festival every year, and it's like he's one of the few people that I'm like, I can't wait to see you next year. You know, I don't have that level of connection with all of the vendors. There's a few that I have that deep level of connection with, and he's definitely one of them. But I don't want you to think he's the only one, because he's not. There's a lot of really good vendors every single year. So that is the end of Fiber Festival shenanigans. Now let's get into what I did in the month of May. You can see behind me is a new decoration. I actually made that for the festival. It is a crocheted garland, so it's a little vine. It's just a crochet chain with some half double crochets for the leaves. It's super cute. There's a little picot at the tip of the leaf. Super quick and easy to do. My tent is 10 foot by 10 foot. So I asked my mom, if you're going to get a garland for a specific amount of space, how much garland do you need? And she said about double. So that is about 20 feet of garland. And it took me a whole day to do. I am not slow at crochet, but I'm not terribly fast. And this is textured handspun. It's thick and thin. And it was not the easiest to crochet, and then I haven't done crochet in so long that I'm a little out of touch with it. But I also, and I have to blame Olina, the Norwegian knitter, because she made the most gorgeous bouquet for her wedding, and now I have to make some flowers. So I spent 3 days making flowers. The third day was all assembly. Let me tell you, I got so many burns on my fingers from hot gluing these babies together. But I've got such pretty flowers now. They're all carnations. We have buds. We have the actual flowers. And most of them are two-tone. So we have white with yellow trim. We have white and purple. White and blue. We have white and black. We have black and white, so you can really see the difference. And we have white on white. And we have a light purple. I wanted pink, but I don't have any pink that's thin enough in the handspun. So, like, I need to spin up some more colors, but this is really pretty. And then the green leaves, I didn't have the correct wire, so they're kind of all twisted in every which way. I don't care. I'm not going to worry about it. And right now, these are living in this square vase. It's on top of my cabinet, my crafting cabinet in the living room. I'm just going to roll these back up in tissue paper right quick. I had someone ask me how much for the flowers, and I was like, technically they're not for sale. He said, what do you mean by technically? I said, well, if you want them bad enough, they're $200. He said, yeah, they're not for sale. Like, no, they took me 3 days to do. I burnt my fingers. No. Nope. Not gonna sell those. But it was kind of cool that people really liked them. And I had them set up at the front of my booth. And the garland was across the front of the tent, which we weren't allowed to have the fabric part of the tent inside the building, but we could have the frame. And I was really grateful for that, as it really helps determine the space. So it's helpful for me as a vendor for setting up and stuff. And I really liked having some pretty stuff decorating my booth that wasn't for sale, because everything is always for sale, and this time I had something that was just pretty. And I think that made a really big difference. And the wall of yarn also, not yarn, wool, also made a really big difference. Everybody just beelined straight towards it. So it was a big attention grabber. So that's the crochet that I did in the month of May in 1 week. Granted, 1 week, just like 3, maybe 4 days. I did all of that crochet, and the crocheting itself wasn't the difficult part. It was assembling the flowers and getting yarn on the stems. That was the difficult part. So May 1st, we started the summer make along, and there's been a lot of fun stuff going on in there. It's anything summer related. It can be spinning, it can be knitting, crochet, embroidery, sewing, painting, diamond painting, whatever you want to do, as long as it loosely connects to summer one way or another. I don't care how. I don't care if it's a summer looking yarn, if it's a summery pattern, if it's a summer wedding quilt. Like, I don't care, as long as it's summer themed. It's just something fun for us to do. We can chatter, we can share pictures. I have a group chat in the Facebook group, and we have been chattering away in there and sharing pictures and everything, and it's just been a lot of fun. It's been building community and connection, and I love that. So my summer project was to knit the Sailor Swift top by Kutovakika, also known as Veronica Lindbergh, and it's the first time I've knit one of her patterns, and I freaking love it. So I will insert a picture of me wearing it. But this is the top. My body is not shaped the way I think in my head that it is. So I'm always disappointed in how things fit, unless they're very loose and drapey. And this is not loose and drapey. It has a lot of negative ease, like 4 inches of negative ease. I started knitting it bigger, and it was just way too big. The underarms were hanging down to my waist. It's like, this is not going to work. I had to make the top portion really short in order for it to work. And then the I-cord edges are absolutely genius. And I'm going to steal these I-cords and use them in everything I want an I-cord edge on, because it was amazing. The pickup rate for picking up stitches worked perfectly. The neckline is quite tight, but if you look at the pattern picture, which I don't have in my hand, but if you look at the pattern, it is a very high-necked little tank top. I don't like, was it razorback, where it goes in more at the top. I don't like that style because my bra straps don't go in very far. They stay kind of wide out. So I'm constantly having to adjust those, but it's not the end of the world, and I do really like how it turned out. The yarn, this is yarn that I dyed a long time ago, and it just knit up with these diagonal like stripes in the color. It's so neat, and it's true on the back as well. It turned out to be really, really nice. It's almost too long, but I'm happy with it. The only problem is this is superwash sock yarn, which makes it wool and nylon, and it is too freaking hot and humid to wear it. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I cannot wear this 99% of the time. But I love it. I'm going to have to find some good quality like wool, cotton or bamboo or something yarn to make another one of these, or maybe one of her other tops. This was a lot of fun to knit. Her pattern was extremely easy to follow, and everything worked perfectly. Like, that's not a pattern you have to second guess and wonder what you're supposed to do. It's all laid out one step at a time, beautifully written. So can you tell I don't knit from paid for patterns very often? When I do, I kind of go bonkers over how well written they are. So I cast that off yesterday, May 28th. I am coming to you, today is Friday, May 29th. So yesterday I cast that off, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. I wish I could wear it. I wish I was wearing it now, but sadly I put it on and I was instantly dying. So yeah, not gonna wear that right now. But other than that, I did knit up something else. I don't have a start and end date, partly because I was filming a tutorial, so that information will be in my phone, and also because I knit it twice for 2 different tutorials. I know that sounds weird, but I wanted to knit a cowl using art yarn that's got sequins spun into it. So it was a core spun sequin yarn that I did a couple of years ago for Tour de Fleece, and there's actually a video on spinning this. And I started off with 25 stitches and I knit this cowl until I ran out of yarn, bound off, and then I stitch markered it together. Here's a picture of me wearing it. You can't see the stitch markers because they're hiding. But this was my favorite rendition of it. I have 3 different ways to finish it off in that tutorial. And now I haven't finished the second one. I ripped it all out very, very carefully and reknit it on just 18 stitches, and it is quite a bit longer. I have not put it on. I haven't tried anything with it. It's a mini scarf, if you will, lengthwise. So I'm thinking I'm going to do the whole, kind of like you do for the ear warmers, where you accordion fold it. It's not really accordion. You fold it each in half, and then you just do this and sew it together. So I think that's how I'm going to do this one. But it's so pretty, like such a pretty color, and I'm surprised at how well it looks on me. Usually yellow turns my face an awful color, but there you go. So maybe it has enough other colors in it. Who knows? Anyway, I have to sew it up. I haven't done that because I've got to film that part of the tutorial. And then I will be done with the project and the tutorial. So I used the entire skein of yarn. It was around 100 yards, and I knit it on 9mm, which is US 13 needles. They're huge. It's slow going, but this project went fast because it's knit on such huge needles. So each stitch took longer than I'm used to, but it ended up going super fast. Like I did the first one in a day and then this one in a day. So that tutorial will be coming out soon. I don't know exactly when. I am working on updating my YouTube film schedule or release schedule for the rest of the year. So I have June and July and August partially planned. And some of my tutorials are getting spread apart. We're on around the last carding lesson video, that's the word lesson, that I filmed years ago, and I want to put tutorials in that slot. So that's 2 slots a month that I would like to have tutorials, although that's probably not going to happen in July because of Tour de Fleece. So, but that's for another video, another time. Right now, we're talking about May, not June, not July. Well, we will be talking about June. We haven't got there yet. We're still on spinning, and I went down a rabbit hole. I'm so sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. This is my life. Welcome to my brain. I did a lot of spinning. During the festival, I spun up a braid of Tunic roving that was partially felted, and when we got back a few days later, I finished it, plied it, washed it. It's all done. I ended up with, it's 4 ounces, 166 yards. I think I chain plied it. No, I plied it from a center pole ball. I did not film it, but this is what Gabby was spinning at my wheel during the festival. So a little bit of her over twisted spinning from when my wheel was set to the wrong whorl for her. That's in here somewhere, and that makes this a very special yarn. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I'll figure something out eventually. 2 yarns I had accomplished well before the tour, but never plied before the tour, before the festival. Come on, Kim. So we have, this was originally a bat called World Beneath the Deep. I believe there's 1 or 2 left in the shop. Ended up with 42 yards of coil plied, which I did all the plying after the festival, not the tour, the festival. I like how it turned out. This one is too cute for words. It was a Wafa palette of the month, and the picture was a cat sitting in a chair with a ball of yarn. And these are the colors or close to it. So this was a lot of fun to spin up, and I ended up with 32 yards coil plied. It's all core spun. These are all core spun. So these will be going in the local art shop at some point. Then we have this one. I cannot remember if I started it right after the festival or right before. But this was an Art Bat Sweet Stuff in my shop, and I ended up, it's a little over 3 ounces. I ended up with 38 yards coil plied. I had so much fun with all the texture in this. Like, it's a little crazy on the texture and the different fibers. So much fun to work with. And then this one, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it and make something out of it, or if I'm going to sell it. I have 4.5 ounces. These were Rolags I had in the shop and didn't realize they were in the shop. And I spun this up, and then I saw the listing and I went, oh crap. So I took it out of the shop really quick. I ended up with 62 yards of coil plied, core spun, thick and thin, crazy textured. This is enough to actually do something with, and kind of want to make some for me, but it's probably going to go in the shop. So those are the spins, except for one that I accomplished in May. The other one I finished last night, and I washed it, and it is currently in a bucket waiting for me to get the spin dryer out. We needed the dishwashing bucket, so we just moved it. So I can't show it to you. It'll drip everywhere. But it is my 55% wool, 45% bamboo blend. If I can get a picture of it, I will put that up here. If I can get the picture before I edit this, I'll put it up here. If not, I will definitely show it to you next month. Mental note, Kim, don't forget to show that yarn. Okay. So I did a lot of spinning this month, a lot of knitting, a lot of crocheting, and I feel really good about that. I have a lot of projects to show you all, and some of them were very last minute. I did just cast on a new project today, and I have the pattern in front of me, so I will show it to you in black and white because that's how I print stuff. This is the Leah Tunic. I really like the look of it, and I decided to use my 100% linen yarn to make the Leah Tunic, and I cast on, and I literally have like 2 rows done. So yeah, that's as far as I've gotten so far today on it, but I cast on before I started this podcast. So one more thing, and this is my next spin that's going on the wheel. I still have the other half of the wool and bamboo blend to do. I just finished the first half and ended up with 426 yards to ply. So I've got half to spin the other half in order to knit a full project. But I will show you. I had these red bats in the shop. They're called Scarlet Passion. I took one out to spin up, and I have divided it into little bits and added beads to them. I have 5 different size, shape, color beads. So I have 5 different bags of these little tufts of wool. I will be core spinning this and spiral plying just like I did for this yarn because I freaking loved working with it, and then I will knit something up out of it. I'm really excited. I'm going to try, well, I'm just going to have fun with it. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I do want the beads to be very random. So I have them all separated by bead type and size. And now I'm going to have to mix them all up or just grab from different bags. I don't know yet. I didn't count anything. I don't know how many of each bead I've got in here, but the whole bat has been divided up, beads added to it. I sat down and finished that yesterday when I was not feeling like doing anything. So this is ready to go on the wheel. And since I finished the first half of the wool bamboo spin, I can now play with this, and then I can get back to that other spin that I need to do, because I want to knit another summer top before summer's over with. Now I am knitting this linen one, but who knows if I'm going to have the patience for it, because this linen yarn is super slippery and it's not a very pretty color. I mean, this is like a slate gray. It's not the prettiest color, but I didn't know what I wanted it for, so I didn't know what color to get. I went with a color I felt was safe. I should have gone with pink or green or something different. Anyways, that is what I managed to accomplish in the month of May. Pretty much all of it. The kids got out of school right before the festival. Right after the festival. So the last day of school was the following Wednesday, but my kids were out earlier than that because they didn't have to be there for the last partial week. So it is summer here in Georgia for real. And it has been raining nonstop. And we've had several days that were like 58 to 65 degrees. And then we've had a lot of days that were 85 and 90 degrees. So right now it is raining. I think my windows are open. My windows are not open. Whew. And it's not raining, but it was just a few seconds ago. The ground is sopping wet out there. Anyway, it's been raining for like 3 days straight, nonstop, 3 days in a row. That's what I'm looking for. It's been raining about 3 days in a row. And we've had some really cool days. I've had the windows open. It's been great. But for the Fiber Festival, it was the most beautiful weather. It wasn't too hot. It wasn't too cold. It wasn't rainy. It was great. So, you can't ask for better than that, you know? Anyways, what do I have planned for the month of June? Now, before we jump into that, since my brain's kind of all over the place anyways, I don't remember what my plans were for May, and I don't have those show notes because I don't keep them because I never look at them. I did not review last month's video, so I have no idea, but I think I did pretty well regardless. Now, for June, I am going to... In June, my beginner drop spindle spinning classes are starting up. So I'm calling it Beginner Drop Spindle 101, and my first class is June 28th. It's a Saturday. My second class is August 2nd, also a Saturday, and these are at the Appalachian Gap Artsy Art Shop. She's over by the Artful Barn where they've moved to the new location. So there's a lot going on in June. Sunday, it'll be before you see this video, is the vendors open house that Jean is having, her Appalachian Gap studio. And so all the vendors get to meet and greet. They're open for business as well. So I actually have a customer coming up to pick up a custom order bat that is off camera. I'm not going to go grab it. And then she's going to meet me there because I'm going to be there, and she lives in Gainesville and I live in Toccoa. So we're going to drive halfway and meet in Sati, or rather Clarksville. So it's very close to Sati. So I'm excited about that. And then also in June, like next weekend, 5th, 6th, and 7th, is the art tour, the North Georgia art tour or something. And Jean has asked as many vendors as possible to be there to demo and talk about what they're doing as much as they can through those 3 days. So I have to figure out how much time I have available to do that. And then the weekend after that is the Artful Barns grand opening. And Jean has asked as many vendors as possible to be there to demo for that day. So, and that is a Saturday. And then I have my class on Saturday, 28th. So it's like every single weekend this month, I've got something going on in that one location. And it's exciting, but it's a little overwhelming too, because it's just, there's so much. And I feel like weekends are for family, and I can't be with my family because of all this stuff I'm doing. And it's really important. And I want to do it, but I also want to be with my family because they're really important too. So I'm having to juggle how much I'm going to commit to as far as these demo spin days. I'm excited. I want to do all of it, but I know my family also needs time with me as well. Let's face it, I need to be away from people and just around my family every now and then. So there is that. Then I'm also teaching Knitting for Absolute Beginners parts 1 and 2. Part 1 will be Saturday, July 19th, and part 2 will be August 9th. And then I'm doing another spinning class that's kind of a follow-up class to the first one, but it is all about color management with spinning, and that will be Thursday, July 24th. So there's a lot going on the next 3 months, and I am scared out of my mind, nervous as all get out, and excited. I know I'm a good teacher. I know once I get into it, it'll be fine. I think I'm worried nobody's going to want to have the classes, and I'm going to show up and there's not going to be any students. I think that's what I'm most worried about. Or they're going to show up, they're not going to get what they were expecting, and then they're going to be disappointed and they're not going to want to come back. Last year, I taught a spinning class at the Fiber Festival before the festival, and I'm still getting students come back to me in my booth and telling me a year later, I loved your class, I'm still spinning, I'm really enjoying it, I want to buy more fiber from you. So I know my fears have no room, you know, there's no reason for them, there's no logic to them. But I can't help but think, what if I'm not good enough? That's the fear. What if I'm not good enough? So it's just insecurities, really. I know I'm good enough. I've just got to push through the nerves and do it, and everything will be fine. That doesn't stop the nerves from existing, right? So, I do have an announcement to make. Before I forget, I just turned my paper over. I have notes on one paper. It's both sides. You didn't need to know that. Again, welcome to Kim's Brain. So we're working towards Tour de Fleece, right? Which is running July 5th through 27th or something like that. And I decided that I was going to run a sale at the end of May. I was going to do a clearance sale as my last WAFA sale, but I ended up canceling that, and I will not be doing WAFA sales anymore for multiple reasons. Mentioned that last month, so if you want to hear about that, just go back and watch episode 50. But I did decide to go ahead and run the discount after the Fiber Festival to the end of the month, and it is now over. As you're seeing this, not as I'm filming it. So, but I've made quite a few sales off of that, and I still have way too much comb top. I'm low on bats, I'm low on rollags. So I'm almost sold out of the rollags. Everybody likes the rollags. I'm definitely going to be making more of those. But comb top, I have way too much. I have no room for more. So I have decided to run a 20% off all the comb top in my shop, $50 and up purchases. So if you buy 2 braids of fiber from me, 2 braids of comb top, you get the 50% off, 20%, not 50, 20% off all of it. It automatically applies to the comb top. You don't have to do anything. You go into the shop, you buy what you want, it automatically applies. When I get custom orders, whenever there's a discount running, it applies to custom orders too. It's not old stuff only, it's everything, okay? If I dye up a new colorway and put it in the shop during this discount, it goes on the discount too. If you message me and say, I want this colorway, but I don't like that fiber, what other fibers do you have? We'll do a custom order, you know? Or if you say, I want this braid of fiber, but can you turn into a back? Can you turn into row legs? Same price, maybe a couple dollars more, depending on how I'm feeling, usually the same price. The discount will apply, well, right now the discount's for comb top only, so it won't apply for anything that's not comb top. I need to sell out the comb top, so this discount is running from July 1st through 10th. After that, no more discounts for a while. So, you don't have to put in a code or anything. It automatically applies. If you are outside the continental US, you will have to message me for a custom invoice because my shop does not calculate shipping for outside the US. I'll do it for special requests, but that's it. With the way the world is right now, that's how I'm doing things. So, that's for the month of June. What I would like to accomplish work-wise, because there's a lot. For instance, my biggest plan is to catch up on editing. I have it in all caps, like big words across the bottom of the page. Catch up on editing. If you watched last episode, you'll remember I had 12 videos. I had miscounted and thought it was 14. I had 12 videos ready to edit when I finished filming that one. I now have 8, but I have edited 7 videos since the festival. But I still have 8 videos to do because I have filmed a bunch more. So I'm currently counting this one to 8. It's way better than 12. A million times better than 14, let me tell you. So that's my biggest goal for June. I have 3 months of the Ko-fi fiber subscription to dye up before switching to the holiday colorways. So we're currently doing wildflower theme. I have July, August, and September to do. And then we will move into holiday colorways for November and December. October, November, and December. Something like that. Anyways, so I need to get those dyed up as soon as I can. I have the fiber, just need to do it. And then I have a custom order that just came in a couple days ago, applied to the discount that's just ended. Custom order to dye up 3 of my Alice in Wonderland colorways on merino because of sensitive skin issues, which I understand, but she wants them turned into row legs. So I will be doing that for her. So I've got to do that as soon as the wool gets here. I had to order it, I'm out. And then, of course, I'm teaching 1 class this month. Demo spin, my goal is to do 3 days this whole month. Not 5, but that's the number available, but 3 at least. At the Artful Barn area, because there's several little buildings there, like they're old houses that have been converted over to stores. So the Appalachian Gap art store, the first one is not actually a demo spin, it's a meet and greet for the vendors. And then the grand opening for the Artful Barn and the Northeast Georgia Arts Tour. So figuring that out, I want to spin up a bunch more art yarns. I have the beaded art yarn here that is next on the wheel. I've got some more knitting to do, like these samples. This, once it's done, will be going into the store to go with the beaded and sequined yarns that'll be coming out soon. And then I have another art yarn that's also yellow. It's very similar to this. That is core spun, coil plied, and I'm going to give that to the owner, Jean, and ask her to weave a sample for the store. That way people can see, oh, this is something you can do with this yarn. So I'll talk to her about that probably Sunday for the vendors before you see this video. That would be yesterday for you if you're watching this the day it goes out. So get that taken care of. I have a lot of plans for holiday themed art yarns that I'm hoping to get started on, but probably not going to happen in June. I do want to dye up bamboo for those, however, because that takes days. The way I do it, it takes days. I want to finish the woolen bamboo spin so I can knit a second or third summer top, depending on, you know, how much of this linen one that I get done. And then I definitely want to work on this one, hopefully get it done in June. And I need to finish my plans for Tour de Fleece. So it's a lot to do this month, and my 17-year-old is applying for jobs, and we're trying to figure out the ride situation. He's got some friends that work somewhere and he wants to work with them, and his friends have offered to help with the rides. So hopefully that will help me a lot, because I'm going to be a very busy woman and not available to do all the rides in the world like I used to. That's what happens when you're running a business, teaching classes and making stuff all the time. You got to be out there, you got to be doing things. So, and also June is like the busiest month. It was supposed to be my rest month, you know. Not at all. It's completely packed. Like, I have to, it's just crazy. I'm not even going to get into it all, but it's great. It's fantastic, you know. Busy, 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 running, no time for boredom, right? So what are your plans for June? Or maybe we should just go with, what were your accomplishments for May? Sometimes that's a little easier. What are your accomplishments for May? What are you really proud of for the month of May? I would love to hear about it. Tell me in the comments. I've had an absolute blast this month, and I'm motivated. I'm not drained. I'm feeling motivated and ready to tackle the world. So, and the custom orders just keep coming. I'm really excited. Really excited. I've got a lot of videos that I have filmed recently that will be coming out over the next few months. So stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell, unless you just don't care, in which case that's fine. I never subscribe to people. I like watching someone. I will binge watch every single video that someone puts up, but I will not subscribe, because as soon as I do, I quit watching the channel. Why? I don't know. I'm weird that way. So if you don't subscribe, you're not going to hurt my feelings. Yeah. I think that is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed the Fiber Festival shenanigans, and I hope I didn't forget anything important I had meant to mention. If so, oh well. I will see you guys in the next one.